Okay, guys, here's my new adventure in technology. So, today, what I'm going to talk to you about is the myelination. Remember, myelination occurs with the Schwann cells in the peripheral nervous system and the oligodendrocytes in the central nervous system. So, most neurons are covered with this myelin sheath, whether they're produced by the Schwann or the oligodendrocytes. They insulate and speed up an impulse. Remember, think of it as the insulation on wire. The insulation in this myelin is made up of lipids and proteins. And like I said the other day, they wrap it in layers. Like think of the neuron and wrapping paper towels around a roll. These there are gaps in between each Schwann cell, and that is called the nodes of Ranvier. Now remember, the Schwann cells are the ones that are in the peripheral nervous system and have a small gap between each cell. Let's look at a picture real quick. This is the picture right here. This is a Schwann cell here. You can see the nucleus here. This is the gap or the node of Ranvier. Notice that's French. Okay. Here's another Schwann cell, and here's another node of Ranvier. Here's another Schwann cell and another node of Ranvier. So they have all those spaces in between. Um, this these gaps help speed up the reaction. Myelination itself increases with age. So think of a baby. They aren't very coordinated when they come out. They can't focus their eyes. They can't grasp things very well. The neurons are unmyelinated, so the impulses are very slow. As they get older, they become more and more myelinated, so the impulses increase. The generation of nerves is limited and slow, and oftentimes these Schwann cells, I said yesterday, sort of act as a band aid. If the axon is torn, then a Schwann cell can insert itself and sort of wrap around the area that's torn. There are some diseases that attack myelin sheaths, and that is multiple sclerosis, which really actually means that there's multiple scarring on the myelin sheaths, and then Tay Sachs. Tay Sachs is a disorder of infants. It runs in the Jewish race. It's a homozygous recessive trait, and the children usually don't live between 3 and 5 years of age. It's very devastating because they seem to develop at first normally and then they start to regress as their neurological myelin sheaths start to wear away. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about myelination has to do with the central nervous system, because a lot of times what we call in there the white matter and the gray matter of the brain has to do with myelin. White matter is myelinated, has some unmyelinated neurons, but it's predominantly myelinated neurons and makes it appear white. These white areas of the brain transmit impulses faster than the gray areas. The gray areas have cell bodies, dendrites, and unmyelinated axons, so they transmit impulses slower. So, when you talk about the CNS, how is gray and white matter arranged? The spinal cord, the outside of it is white matter. Tracks go very fast up in the white matter. But the inside of the middle of this spinal cord is a butterfly shape and it's actually gray. The brain is reversed in this. The outside is gray matter. Think the where we store information on the outside of the brain. And then the tracks on the inside of the brain are white and myelinated so that they send impulses faster. You also have a lot of tracks in the brain where we're going to all over different parts of the brain. We're going to talk more about that in the next chapter, but I wanted y'all to understand how sometimes gray matter is unmyelinated and white matter is myelinated. Then, as I said before, the nuclei itself is the regions of deep gray matter surrounded in white, and they have the unmyelinated cell bodies. That's it for now. I hope this went okay. See you guys later.